You know that picture-perfect summer we're all sold? The one with the perfect beach days, laughing families at barbecues, and golden hour sunsets over a lake. It's supposed to be 3 months of pure, simple joy? But what if, for you, it's secretly a season of anxiety? What if that promise of fun in the sun feels less like an invitation and more like a demand? If you've ever felt that quiet sense of dread looking at your summer calendar, or felt a pang of guilt for not being as deliriously happy as everyone on social media seems to be, you are so far from alone. A recent health survey found that a surprising number of adults experience negative mental health symptoms during the summer, with feelings of anxiety, stress, and sleep problems topping the list. This isn't a personal failing. It's a shared, unspoken reality. So let's talk about it. We're not here to rain on anyone's parade, but to get real about the complex emotions that so many of us feel. We are going to expose the invisible, psychological, and physical burdens that can turn your fun in the sun into a source of stress. We'll get into the why behind the summer blues and, more importantly, the how you can navigate these pressures and take back the season for yourself. Section 1. The routine rupture. Why freedom feels like free fall. The first hidden stressor sounds like a contradiction: the complete and utter disappearance of our routines. The end of the school year, shifting work schedules, and the general go-with-the-flow summer vibe can feel less like freedom and more like a loss of gravity. For many of us, especially those who wrestle with anxiety or depression, routines are the invisible architecture of our mental well-being. They give us structure, predictability, and a sense of control in a world that often feels chaotic. When that architecture gets knocked down overnight, it can feel profoundly unsettling. Think about it. During the school year, parents have a rhythm. Kids wake up, go to school, come home, there's a cadence to the day. For working adults, we have start and end times, lunch breaks, and project deadlines that shape our weeks. Students have class schedules and study groups. These routines aren't just about managing time, they anchor us. They automate countless small decisions, which frees up our mental energy for more important things. Then summer hits. Suddenly, parents are juggling full-time work with 24/7 childcare, a balancing act that leaves a huge number of working parents feeling completely overwhelmed. The house is louder, more messy, and the demand for snacks never ends. For adults without kids, the social calendar can explode with weddings, vacations, and last-minute plans, throwing carefully built work-life boundaries into chaos. For students, the structure of school vanishes, leaving a void that can quickly fill with boredom and a sense of aimlessness. This routine rupture isn't just an inconvenience. It can set off a chain reaction of negative effects. Without our usual cues, our healthy habits are often the first to go. Exercise gets pushed aside, consistent sleep becomes a distant memory, and meal planning gives way to whatever is easiest. This loss of control is a direct line to anxiety, making it harder to manage our moods and energy. So, how do you cope when your foundation has been shaken? The answer isn't to create some rigid, military-style summer schedule. That just defeats the purpose of a more relaxed season. Instead, it's about building a flexible framework. First, find your anchor habits. What are the one or two small, non-negotiable things that keep you grounded? It could be that morning coffee on the porch before anyone else wakes up, a 20-minute walk after dinner, or reading one chapter of a book before bed. Protect these anchors. They are your stability points in a sea of change. Next, try block scheduling. Instead of planning every hour, create broad blocks of time: work, play, rest, and chores. This gives your day a gentle shape without being suffocating. Maybe mornings are for focused work, afternoons are for family time, and evenings are for winding down. Within those blocks, you can still be spontaneous. Finally, talk to your family. Have a weekly check-in about what's working and what isn't. Ask what everyone is enjoying, but also what they might be missing from their old routine. Just acknowledging these feelings can validate everyone's experience and help you build a new summer rhythm together, one that balances freedom with the structure we all secretly crave. Section 2. The glare of the summer body, a crisis of comparison. The second hidden stressor is one of the most visible, but its psychological weight is massive: the relentless pressure to have a summer body. The second the weather gets warm, we get hit with a single toxic message from ads, social media, and even just casual conversations. Your body needs to be ready for public viewing. The implication is that our bodies right now are somehow not good enough for summer. This idea, which really took off with the popularization of the bikini in the 1960s, has become a pillar of diet culture. It sets a deadline for changing your body, turning the weeks before summer into a stressful, shame-filled time for so many people. On apps like TikTok and Instagram, hashtags like #SummerBodyGoals are flooded with images that are highly curated, digitally altered, and promote a single, narrow, and often impossible beauty standard. Seeing this constant stream of perfect bodies can be devastating for our mental health, fueling body dissatisfaction, social anxiety, and disordered eating. And the pressure isn't just online. It's in clothing stores with their harsh lighting. It's in the gym ads promising to get you beach ready in 30 days. It's a pressure that hits women and young people especially hard, but it affects everyone, creating this collective anxiety around the simple act of wearing less clothing when it's hot. For a lot of people, the thought of summer triggers stress, not excitement, because of this intense focus on appearance. This isn't just about vanity. It's a deep psychological burden. It tricks you into thinking your worth is tied to your weight or muscle tone. It can make you dodge pool parties or beach trips, robbing you of joy and connection. The focus shifts from the experience, the feeling of the cool water, the warmth of the sun, the laughter of friends, to a constant critical judgment of your own body. So how do we fight back against a cultural message this huge? It starts with a mix of media literacy and some radical self-compassion. First, curate your digital world like it's your job. Unfollow, mute, or block any account that makes you feel bad about yourself. Actively search for and follow creators who celebrate all different body types and promote health over aesthetics. Fill your feed with real, unedited bodies of all shapes and sizes. This one act can help you dismantle the lie that there's only one way to have a body in the summer. Second, try to shift your focus from what your body looks like to what your body can do. Your body is not just an ornament, it's your vehicle for experiencing life. Focus on how your legs can carry you on a hike, how your arms can paddle a kayak or hug someone you love, how your skin can feel the breeze. This is all about embodiment, about living in your body and appreciating what it does for you, not just how it looks. Third, practice a little body kindness. Talk to yourself the way you talk to a friend. When a negative thought pops up, gently question it. Ask yourself, is this helpful? Would I ever say this to someone I care about? Try replacing the criticism with something neutral. Instead of, I hate my thighs, maybe try, my legs are strong and let me walk. It's not about forcing yourself to feel a love you don't have yet. It's about breaking the cycle of being mean to yourself. And finally, remember this simple, powerful truth. Every single body is a summer body. The only thing you need to have a summer body is to have a body and for it to be summer. Give yourself permission to exist, to take up space, and to enjoy the season without needing to change yourself first. Section 3. The social squeeze, FOMO, anxiety, and the performance of fun. Our third stressor is the intense social pressure that defines the summer months. It's a real double-edged sword. On one side, you have social anxiety, that dread and discomfort that comes with a packed calendar of weddings, barbecues, and parties. On the other, you have its modern cousin, FOMO, the fear of missing out, which is constantly fueled by scrolling through social media and seeing everyone else's perfect summer. Let's start with social anxiety. If you find big social events draining, summer can feel like a nightmare. The expectation is to be on all the time, to be bubbly, outgoing, and ready to go at a moment's notice. The pressure to say yes to every single invitation is huge, and it can lead to a calendar so full there's no room left to just breathe and recover. It's completely overwhelming and turns what should be fun events into major sources of stress. Then there's FOMO. You open your phone and you're hit with a highlight reel of curated perfection. Your friends are on a breathtaking trip to Europe. Your coworkers are at some glamorous rooftop party. Influencers are living their best lives on a yacht. This constant stream of idealized moments creates a silent standard for what a good summer is supposed to look like. If your reality, which might be working, running errands, or just resting at home, doesn't match up, it can make you feel inadequate, lonely, and like you're failing at summer. This whole dynamic creates what you could call the tyranny of fun, this oppressive feeling that you not only have to be at every fun event, but you have to be visibly having fun the whole time. This performance of happiness is exhausting. It forces you to put on a mask, to pretend you're having the time of your life even when you're feeling anxious, tired, or just over it. The pressure to make the most of it can actually stop you from enjoying anything at all. Navigating this social squeeze comes down to being intentional and setting boundaries. The first step is to give yourself permission to say no. No is a full sentence. You don't owe anyone a big, elaborate excuse. Your energy is a finite resource and you get to decide how to spend it. Before you say yes to something, pause and ask yourself, do I actually want to do this? Or am I just saying yes out of guilt or obligation? Learning to politely say no to things that will drain you isn't selfish. It's essential self-preservation. Second, practice what some people call JOMO, the joy of missing out. This is an active mindset shift. Instead of seeing a quiet night in as a failure, reframe it as a deliberate choice to recharge. Romanticize your downtime. Make a nice meal, watch a movie you love, take a long bath. Celebrate the peace that comes from opting out of the hustle. You can also try a digital sunset, where you put your phone away for the evening to be present in your own life, free from the social media comparison trap. Third, schedule your downtime as seriously as you schedule your social events. Block out do-nothing days on your calendar. Treat these appointments with yourself as non-negotiable. This guarantees you have protected time to rest and recharge, which can prevent social burnout before it even starts. Finally, when you do decide to socialize, be intentional about it. Prioritize smaller get-togethers or one-on-one catch-ups with people who genuinely make you feel good, instead of huge, overwhelming parties. Focus on the quality of your connections, not the quantity of your social appearances. By being mindful about your own social life, you can escape the social squeeze and find a balance that feels right for you. Section 4. The other SAD. When sunshine doesn't bring joy. When we hear seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, our minds usually go to the dark, cold days of winter. But there's another, lesser-known version of this condition, summer pattern SAD for some people. The arrival of long, hot, intensely bright days triggers not joy, but a very distinct and distressing set of symptoms. While winter, say, often looks like lethargy and sadness, summers usually shows up as agitation and anxiety. The primary symptoms include increased anxiety, restlessness, and insomnia. Many people with summer SAD also experience a loss of appetite and might lose weight. It's a feeling of being constantly on edge, overstimulated, and unable to relax even when the world around you is screaming vacation. This condition is thought to be linked to the very things we usually celebrate about summer, the heat and the light. Some researchers believe that for certain people, the intense, prolonged sunlight disrupts the balance of key brain chemicals like serotonin, which affects mood. The relentless heat itself is a major physical and mental stressor. High temperatures can lead to dehydration and physical discomfort, which in turn shortens our tempers. Studies have shown a clear link between heat waves and increases in irritability and aggression. When your body is working overtime just to stay cool, your ability to regulate your emotions plummets. That feeling of being quick to anger on a sweltering day isn't just in your head. It has a physical basis. The long daylight hours can also mess with our sleep. Our bodies rely on darkness to produce melatonin, the hormone that tells us it's time to sleep. When the sun doesn't set until late and rises super early, it can disrupt this natural process, leading to trouble falling asleep and poor quality rest. This becomes a vicious cycle. Bad sleep makes anxiety and irritability worse, which in turn makes it even harder to sleep. Recognizing that your negative feelings might be a real, physiological response to the season is the first, most important step. This is not a character flaw. Coping with summer SAD is about actively managing your environment to turn down these triggers. First, become a creature of the cool. Seek out air-conditioned spaces whenever you can. Libraries, museums, and movie theaters can be your best friends during the hottest part of the day. Don't feel guilty for staying inside when the heat is just too much. Second, take control of the light in your home. Blackout curtains in your bedroom can create a dark, cool sanctuary for sleep. Try to mimic a winter light cycle by keeping your lights dim in the evening to encourage your body to produce melatonin. Third, adjust your schedule. If you can, shift your outdoor activities like exercise or errands to the early morning or later in the evening when it's cooler. That irritability might just be your body's way of telling you it's overheating or dehydrated. Finally, and most importantly, if these feelings of agitation and anxiety are sticking around and getting in the way of your life, please seek professional support. Summer sad is a real and treatable condition. A therapist or doctor can help you find coping strategies and figure out if other treatments might be needed. You do not have to suffer through the season in silence. I want to pause here and ask you something. We've talked about a few of these hidden stressors, from broken routines to social pressures. What's one summer pressure you've experienced that people don't talk about enough? Share it in the comments below. Let's create a space where we can all acknowledge that summer isn't always perfect, and that's completely okay. Your story might be the one that makes someone else feel seen and understood. Section 5. The crushing weight of summer finances. The next hidden stressor is one that follows us everywhere, from the gas station to the grocery store to the vacation booking site. Money. For so many of us, summer is an incredibly expensive season. There's this unspoken expectation to fill the long days with memorable experiences, but those memories often come with a big price tag. And according to surveys, many parents say they stress most about their finances during the summer months. So where does this financial strain come from? First, for parents, the end of the school year often means the beginning of childcare costs. Summer camps, daycare, and babysitters can add thousands of dollars to a family's budget. For many, these costs are just impossible, forcing parents to cut back on work hours or try to juggle a full-time job with full-time caregiving, which just adds another layer of stress. Then there's the cost of fun. Vacations, day trips, concert tickets, theme parks, and even just eating out more often can drain a bank account fast. There's a powerful social pressure to keep up, to give your kids a magical summer, or to join your friends on their big adventures. This pressure is so real that countless people report feeling anxious just about affording their summer plans. Many go into debt to pay for these activities, creating a painful cycle where trying to find relaxation and fun leads to long-term financial anxiety. Even if you're staying home, the costs can pile up. Air conditioning bills can skyrocket. Grocery bills often go up with kids at home for every meal, and that constant need to keep children entertained can feel like a non-stop drain of small expenses. Ice cream trips, movie rentals, new toys that add up to a huge amount. For a majority of parents, it simply feels more expensive to raise kids during the summer. This financial pressure can cast a dark shadow over the whole season. It can create tension in families and lead to feelings of guilt and inadequacy if you can't afford the same things you see others doing on social media. The joy of an activity can be completely wiped out by the worry of how you're going to pay for it. So, how do you manage this financial squeeze without feeling like you're missing out? The key is to shift from reactive spending to proactive planning. First, create a simple summer budget. Sit down and be honest about what you can comfortably afford to spend on activities, travel, and extra childcare. Just seeing the numbers in black and white can be empowering. It lets you make conscious choices based on your priorities, not on social pressure. Second, get creative with free and low-cost fun. This is your chance to be a tourist in your own town. Explore local parks and hiking trails. Check out your public library's summer programs. They're often fantastic and totally free. Plan picnics, have backyard campouts, organize water balloon fights, and find free community splash pads. These simple, cheap experiences are often the ones that build the best memories. Third, have an open conversation about money with your family in a way that's right for their age. This isn't about making kids stressed about finances, but about teaching them the value of budgeting. You can say things like, "This month we have a budget for one big fun thing." Should we choose the water park or the zoo? This brings them into the decision-making and helps manage their expectations. Finally, redefine what a good summer looks like for you. A successful summer isn't measured by how much money you spent or how many exotic places you went. It's measured in moments of connection, relaxation, and real joy. Give yourself permission to opt out of the expensive, high-pressure activities and instead invest your time and energy into what truly matters to you and your family. A summer that's rich in experiences doesn't have to be a summer that leaves you poor. We've pulled back the curtain on summer and looked at the hidden stressors that often go ignored, the chaos of broken routines, the pressure of the summer body myth, the squeeze of social and financial expectations, and the surprising reality of summer depression. If any of this hit home for you, the most important thing to take away is this: you are not alone and your feelings are valid. For too long, we've been sold a one-dimensional story about summer, a story of nonstop happiness that leaves no room for the real, complex emotions we all have. This creates a painful gap where we feel guilty for not feeling the way we think we're supposed to feel. But happiness is not a requirement to get through a season. It is okay to feel anxious, overwhelmed, tired, or just fine. The goal isn't to force yourself to love every single part of summer. The goal is to give yourself the grace and the tools to navigate it more peacefully. It's about building a flexible framework for your days, cleaning up a social media feed so that it lifts you up instead of tearing you down, and focusing on what your body can do instead of just how it looks. It's about setting boundaries with your time and your money and finding cool, dark spaces when the heat and light feel like too much. This is your permission slip. Give yourself permission to have the summer you need, not the one you think you're supposed to have. Maybe your perfect summer is less about beach parties and more about reading books in the air conditioning. Maybe it's about swapping a big, expensive vacation for a series of small, local adventures. Maybe it's just about getting through the next few months with your mental health in one piece. Whatever it looks like, you have the power to redefine this season on your own terms. By acknowledging the hidden stressors, you can start to take away their power over you and create a summer that feels less like a performance and more like your own.